MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And good morning, Scotty Ray and Candace. And if you can't reach your remote, you're stuck with us for an hour. Don't you hate it when something comes on and you go, boy, I don't like that, but I sure ain't going to get up and find the remote. It just ain't worth it.
Let's hope people don't think that.
Yeah. We'll hope we'll entertain you for the next hour.
I've heard more, it needs to be 2 hours than one. So, anyway.
So there you go. We're glad to have you. Welcome. And thank you for letting us come into your home or wherever you are right now watching from your phone. As always, we love to hear your comments. Yes. 28 degrees in Meridian, Mississippi. I did get a note a minute ago of 25 in downtown DeKalb.
It is cold, though.
Let's do a big burr together.
It's bone-chilling cold out there.
This almost makes you want to get out that ugly snuggly that you were given for Christmas and wear.
I told the girls at work the other day, I said, I'm going to have to get one of those, what do you call them? Those look like a sleeping bag that you get in. I said, I'm going to have to start wearing one of those things to work. They freeze me to death in there. Which one
wasn't it? Maybe it was the updated Snuggie that they had everybody in the bleachers wearing to where it went on the front. And it looked like a choir robe. And you talk about dorks looking like they were. But I guess if you want to be warm, it's okay to look that way.
Yeah. Well, I was freezing the other day, and they had the air going. I mean, it was cold outside, and they had the air going. I said, y'all, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to start wearing, like, coats.
So you wasn't having one of those hot flashes like a lot of women?
No, I was having, if you can have a cold flash, I was having one. I don't even know.
My young son who's in college tries not to come home because his mama freezes us all out, and he walks around with winter clothes on and hoodies.
Now, Kurt says I freeze him out at home.
I can see it.
He was sitting on the couch the other day with a coat on and a toboggan on his head.
If you're at your home and you can see your breath, your wife has the temperature too low. And y'all think I'm joking. This does happen to women sometimes, in that 40 to 50
Go
age.
The premenopausal or menopausal.
They're sitting there with their rags, wiping sweat off, and everybody else in the house is just...
Yeah. But don't touch the thermostat.
Oh, no, you can get hit with a shoe. We all know that happens.
Yeah. Well,
And
mood swings.
Who has done this? In the middle of the night, you get up to go to the bathroom and you find that high heel in the middle of the floor, and it stabs you.
Or have you ever stumped your little toe on the end of the footboard and you're going around?
I've done that. And what about the Lego? The toy dance. That's what you call that in the middle of the night.
Nothing hurts worse to me than stepping on one of those tiny Legos right in the center of your foot. Yeah, that's awful.
I saw a video, and I think this was out of Nashville yesterday. The FedEx guy, a lot of times they get picked on, but he walks up to the door and he sets the package down. He knocks on the door. Of course, they don't come to it. And he's walking across the front porch, and the dog that's on the couch jumps at him and shatters the front window trying to get to him.
Oh, my goodness.
It's hanging halfway out at him, and I would have run.
Yeah.
I have a...
Yeah, it's a wonder he didn't break a leg trying to get away from that.
Well, I don't like nothing that can take part of me in his mouth.
Right.
And I remember that as a kid, them German Shepherds, boy, they'll get a hunk out of you.
Two of the girls I work with, both their husbands are UPS drivers, and they say that they have had to, the dogs can be vicious.
Oh, I'm sure.
People, it looks like you'd put your dog up if you know you're going to be getting a package. Not everybody does, so... they risk their lives to deliver your package.
Has she stopped washing his clothes in that bacon-flavored bounce?
No. I guess that would be a good thing if you had it out for your spouse.
You can get somebody that way. Good morning to you. Now, let me tell you some rumors that you're going to start seeing today. And they are rumors because we're so far out. You're going to start seeing a lot of people go, it's going to snow Saturday night into Sunday. Now, there is a smidgen of a chance northern Alabama and northern Mississippi could see a flurry. Flurry. Nothing huge, but there's going to be a lot of people that haven't dug deep into this and looked at it. It is just a chance, mostly rain. Now, we are 3, 4, 5 days out. Mother Nature can change, but I guess what I'm saying is don't believe everything you see out of the gate. I don't think it's anything bad at this point, but you will start seeing rumors of that. So be prepared and go, nah, ain't happening just yet.
Well, I wish we would get a little bit of snow.
Oh, I'm all for it.
Just to dust everything, make it pretty, No ice, no slush.
The last little flurry that we got, I didn't even get to play in it. I was here, and then it didn't stay long enough to really do anything.
Yeah.
And then that walk out to the mailbox was like miserable, and I ran back. I went, I just can't handle it no more.
I know. It does get really cold. Then I have to break out my socks on my hands.
I'm a firm believer in Carhartt.
Yeah.
You should try Carhartt socks or gloves. That would probably help you a lot.
I might try that next time, Scotty Ray.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, we were freezing the other night in the yard trying to find my little dog when the power went out a while back.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't have any gloves, couldn't find any gloves, so I had to go put my husband's socks on my hands because I thought my fingers were going to fall off.
And he'd just taken them off the day before.
He did not. Don't listen.
Tell the truth.
Do not listen to him, everything he says.
Hey,
about me.
I did see this morning. If you're looking for a job, and I've listened to it 3-4 times, the Lauderdale County school system is going to be taking applications. They got a little job fair coming up on the 18th. Let's see, it's going to be at 301 46 Court, Meridian. You can come drop off. They say bring 8 copies of your resume. And if you're looking for a job, and I looked for announcer, and I looked for a weather guy for them, and they didn't have any openings in that.
I bet they watch you anyway. I bet they depend on you for the weather anyway. So.
But if you're looking for a job, that's a great place to go put in your application. They said they had a lot of mathematical openings, and I'm sure that there's some other things there.
I would not be good for that.
Well, I'm awful at that.
Yeah. I couldn't. Math was not my thing.
I have to call for lifelines on that.
Look, Scotty Ray,
what?
We had our power to lightning hit the house the other day. And we have no stove, have no refrigerator, have no direct TV, so there's no TV.
Nobody got fed, but look at her hair.
No, look, last night I tried to cook in the microwave and the toaster oven to find out they come on, but they don't work right.
Ooh.
So that's great. So it took me about an hour and a half just to cook basic things because I kept having to cook it again and cook it again and cook it again until it got cooked.
You seem a little stubborn. Why didn't you give up the fight and come over to your mama's, which is right by me?
It was like 8 o'clock before we ate last night.
She'd been glad to have seen you.
I'm sure she would have, but I was tired, and we had a kid to get up and get ready for school.
That almost is worth just going to get you a Burger King and saying.
Look, I said last night I'm picking supper up for the rest of the time. Until we get a stove, I'm just bringing supper home.
So do you have electric instead of a gas stove?
Yes.
Oh, I love my gas stove in case power goes off.
Yeah, I wish we had a gas stove, but anyway.
Now, always remember this, because I'll never forget as a kid. Of course, houses when we were little were harder to keep warm. And I remember me and my sister standing, it was right after Christmas, and we were standing over the stove with our hands trying to keep warm, and she'd just gotten this new furry rabbit coat, and it went whoosh.
Oh, goodness.
Her sleeve caught on fire.
The rabbit coats were a big thing when I was in elementary school. I wanted one so bad.
Yeah.
And I wanted a specific one. I wanted a real pretty white rabbit coat that everybody, some of my friends had.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting the cats that are multicolored. Mm-hmm. That's what my rabbit coat.
Oh.
I had a calico rabbit coat.
Have you ever heard of a guy named Mike Snyder? Mm-mm. He was big during the 80s, and he was a comedian in Nashville, and he did a few performances on the Nashville Now show.
Okay.
And he does a song about his wife wanting a new mink coat. Mm-hmm. And he said he was just driving down Interstate 59 there, and he said, there it come right out of nowhere, a prayer from God. He was a German Shepherd.
Oh, my goodness.
And he said he took it home and made her a mink coat, and she didn't know any better.
Oh, my
It's
goodness.
hilarious if you ever get a chance to look that up. She don't know that she wears Fido.
Oh, gosh, that is awful.
It was funny.
I bet the animal rights people had a heyday with that.
He didn't care. But it was cute.
Goodness.
Good morning to you. We are Scotty Ray and Candace on a very early Tuesday morning, and we are so proud that you chose to be with us for a little while. As we mentioned, the wreck down in Louisiana, this is a look at what they're doing and why they're having to do this is, let me show you this picture here. Well, I can't get it up. But what they're doing is having to check the bridge there right around Slide Ellis in Hancock County, Mississippi, at the Pearl River Bridge that was hit by a truck hauling a bunch of cars. Okay. And they got to make sure that the bridge is sound for everybody to pass over. So we don't want anybody to head that way and not be able to get across it. We got a lot going on this morning. We're going to tell you about pigs and how they're helping humans. Plus, here in just a moment, we've got a special guest coming our way from MCC, and she's going to tell us all about what's going on out at MCC and Martin Luther King Day that is coming up right around the corner. Miss Marlo Turner, she's around the corner.
Yes.
Very sweet. She's been real nice.
Yes, she has.
I can't wait to try her cookies that she's made that she's got over there in her purse that she hadn't shared yet.
Oh,
She's got some. Don't let her fool you there. Let's head down to the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. They've got a lot going on. If you hadn't been in a while, see why so many people go to the Lauderdale County Co-op. Well, they got toboggans and socks and gloves and things of that nature. That really, truly is the warmest thing that you can put on your head when the wind is swarming.
It is. We've got several of them, and it's like wind doesn't even go through them.
That's right. They're almost called ear muffs to a degree. They really help. Now,
Yes.
I cannot guarantee what your hair will look like after you pull it out. Most people have the static electricity.
Yeah.
So be prepared. If you need a pair of overalls, if you're looking for a simple T-shirt or a button-down, they've got all of this. Great-looking shirts and jeans, caps, and if you need the what do you call this? The vest with no sleeves. They got plenty of those.
Has the Sherpa inside, with
It has
like
the what
wool.
inside?
It's called, I think, Sherpa material is what it's called. I
New
think,
word
if
for
I'm not
me.
mistaken. It's like wool.
Yeah, I didn't
Like a
know it was
sheep.
called Sherpa.
I think that's what it's called. It's
Well,
warm, though.
Getting me a dictionary today. There you go. And, of course, work boots. If you need a pair of work boots, you're outside all the time, let them show you the big selection they've got there, including everything for this last stretch of deer season, mobucks, corn. If you need a tent, you need a blind, they've got all of this lined up for you, including cameras that you can use for security. See them. They'll show you all of this. Corn, the triple grip there that's got the corn, the roasted soybeans and peanuts, all of this for you, including sweet feed for your hogs, your cattle. You need any of that? They've got it for you. Dog pets, yeah, anything for your pet there, including guns and ammo. Where do you find it? The Lauderdale County Farm Supply, exit 151, right off the interstate.
I was injured on my job and I applied for Social Security, but I got denied.
I thought that money belonged to me if I got hurt on the job. I just want to know how to get my money.
I'm attorney Richard Schwartz. Let me go to work for you and get the money you deserve.
Richard Schwartz cut through all that red tape, and now I'm approved and getting my benefits.
Call me, Richard Schwartz, and get the answers you need and the compensation you deserve. We know the law and we know how to help you.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. You don't need to say funny stuff before we go on. We're just glad to have you all a part of it. And as we promised, we've got a special guest this morning. Let's welcome in and let's do a close-up on her so all our friends and neighbors can see her. Miss Marlo, how are you today?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. We're so glad to have you there. You got your new necklace on?
Yes.
And red glasses. I'm going to be in the market for some frames before long. I may have to get you to help me out.
Oh,
there.
yeah, definitely.
So what is going on at MCC that brings you out to us this morning?
Oh, we are so excited. We're gearing up to have our annual Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Day program on this Thursday, the 13th at 1 o'clock in our McCain Theater on campus.
So what does that entail when you say, well, we've got a program? What happens during the program? What
So
can
we're
we come
gonna
see?
have a guest speaker. It's a judge from Verona County, Miss Samika Thomas. I want to say. Let me make sure that's. Yes, Samika Thomas.
Right.
She will be our guest speaker. We will have dancing. We'll have singing. We did a a contest for our local high school and college students. We'll announce the winners
Oh, great.
at that time. So yes, it'll be a great event.
So is everyone invited? How do you go about this? Or do you have to have tickets? How does that work?
No, the public is invited. It is free. You just come to the McCain Theater at 1 o'clock on the Thursday and come right in and have a seat.
Wow. This is going to be entertaining.
Fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what time does it begin again?
At 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Well, we can't be, and these are specials that y'all do all throughout the year, special occasions like this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And how long do you think it'll last?
Probably about an hour. I don't suspect it will go over too much an hour.
So an hour out of your day to come enjoy something that happens right here, and then y'all put all this together. Students helped with it as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wow. Well, we invite everybody to come out. And location of the now when you pull it, let's just discuss, because I have been lost before at the
Yeah, if
college.
you don't know where to go, you can get lost because there's so many different
All right,
ones.
say I'm sitting across at the hamburger joint at the red light there in front of MCC.
Right. Come straight across, and you're going to look at Ivy Hall. You're going to have that big mural, the building with the big. That's Ivy Hall. You can come through that door, and you just make your way around. Just keep to the left, and you'll run right into the theater.
Well, see, that's pretty simple, isn't it?
And you can ask anyone on campus. They'll be able to show it to you.
And plenty of parking as well.
Yes, sir. Plenty.
Okay. Well, heck, no reason not to come on out. Again, as we recap this is going to be at 1:30, and you've got several. You got
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Oh,
yes,
I made a mistake, didn't I?
Yeah, don't show up at 1:30 because
No.
you'll miss 30 minutes of it.
But a lot of students help with this, and guest speakers, and singing and all types of things there.
Yes, sir.
And scholarship awards announced.
Yes, sir.
Well, maybe not a scholarship. Did I
Not
word that
really.
wrong?
Yeah, it's a winner, contest winners.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
So
They-
you said it was high school students and college students
Yes, ma'am.
could send in the thing? So it was, what was it, like an essay?
It was essay, creative writing. It was poems, dance, anything creative that you wanted to submit for the contest. You could do that. Well,
Right.
they could do that, not you, but the students could do
Right.
that.
So how long
that's
have
really neat.
you been at MCC?
I have been there for 5 years.
Well, time flies, doesn't it?
Yes.
So what do you teach?
I don't teach. I do payroll, actually.
Uh-oh. So do you know my friend Angie out there?
I do know Angie. I work right next to Angie.
Bless your heart.
I love Angie.
She is a handful, to say the least.
She is.
Be
We'll
careful.
have to talk about her later.
Yes, we will. But we want to thank you, Marlo, for coming out and spending some time with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes,
thank you for
thank
having
you.
me.
Again, this is 1 o'clock Thursday. Come on out to MCC as they will have a Dr. Martin Luther King special beginning at 1 at McCain Theater.
Sure, it sounds like it's going to be fun, too.
Yes.
So don't miss it.
Well, thank you so much for coming by. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you're more than welcome to hang around, or you can go on to work, whichever you want to do
I
there.
don't want to go to work.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I understand that. As we mentioned a moment ago, this could be almost earth-shattering, changing for the United States is heart transplants. If you get on a list, you can be there quite some time trying to get a heart transplant. And as bad as, I don't know any other way to say it, the only way you can get one is if someone passes away. And yesterday, doctors, for the first successful time, put an entire pig heart into a human.
Goodness.
He's a handyman from Maryland. He's 57 years old, and everything's working great.
I knew that years ago, I think they did the valve, like
Right.
they could use a valve from the pig. This is wonderful news, though.
I'm
People that are waiting for heart transplants.
I'm touched by it. So we certainly hope this will be a game changer, and all these people that are lined up to get a heart, because it has to match you and all this. So this is a step in the right future for doctors.
Yes.
I can't imagine being the first person. Do you know that talk that they must have given to him before they done that surgery of, you could die, this may
But,
not.
I mean, I would think that would be a very scary thing. That or a lung transplant or anything like that. I watched a lady, I think it was after, I don't know if it was a heart transplant or a lung transplant, but just her taking that first breath,
Right.
just the look on her face was just amazing. I mean, it made me just cry. I mean, because, you have another chance at living again, whereas before you just didn't know. But,
You should have seen my face at 9 when they pulled that splinter from my finger.
oh, goodness.
It was serious. If you hadn't guessed, I'm not really good at pain. I don't care for it.
Yeah. Nobody cares for it. Some people deal with it a little better than others, but
But I'm here to tell y'all, now, let me just be up front now. A cold is worse than heart surgery. I know. I've been there. That cold will kill a man. It is worse on men. I don't care what y'all say. It is.
I think it's worse on the wives when the husbands get sick.
But, typically men just keep going and going and going. But a cold will shut a big old boy down in a heartbeat.
Yeah, it will.
So I don't know what that's about there. I had an issue there. We'll log back into that there in a second there and fix that. Let's see here. This is different, and I don't know what to think about it. The new mayor of New York City is going to allow 800,000 who are not citizens of New York to vote in local elections. That's concerning. I really thought that with anything in America, you had to be a citizen you got to show your driver's license and Social Security card to get anything done. But they're going to allow voting there in New York. A lot of things shaking up.
800,000. That's
almost 1 million people.
yeah.
So we'll see how this sways elections. And if it happens in New York, we all know that's going to happen in other places. That's just a step to come. I just really thought you had to be an American citizen to do that. I think it's written somewhere.
It's a slap in the face to a lot of people who've gone through the process of becoming American citizens, and that we welcome people to come to America. It's just, you should do it legally and, in the legal way.
It's not cheap to become, all the processes. A lot of people have spent a lot of money on this.
Well, time consuming too. And people who try to become citizens, they have to go through a big process. I mean, I want to say you have to take like a test. You have to do all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And for people who just get the rights to, the stuff that they went, through a lot of stuff to get, they just get the rights and they don't have to go through it. It's just like a slap in the face.
What's bad is a lot of U.S. citizens who couldn't pass the test that an immigrant could. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people that don't know much about American history.
No, there is.
I'm telling you.
I'm probably one of them. But,
I've watched those.
But,
You've seen those things on the street where they go out with a camera and they go, okay, who was such and such? And they go.
Yeah. Well, what took the cake the other day was when I watched the Wheel of Fortune thing. Did you see?
Nah, I hadn't watched that in years. What did they do?
It was some kind of a, what was it? Gosh, it was a part of the song, one of the
come on, get it out.
Songs for America. I don't know, but anyway, it was something that anybody would know, and it was 2 words that they got wrong.
Like something out of the national anthem, maybe?
I'll think of it in a minute. I shouldn't even have brought it up if I didn't.
Bless her heart.
Sorry.
But you're just saying it was a gimme about it, something to do with America.
Yeah,
nobody could answer it.
Well, everybody should have been able to answer that. It was a basic thing, and
that's like the teacher that gives you the test, and the first thing on the test says write your name, and then half the students don't do that and they fail.
Yeah,
that does happen. Yeah. Here's something that is beyond disturbing. Whether you're single, you're married, you have kids or not, something needs to be done with this so that others will not follow suit. This was in New Mexico yesterday, and let me show you the picture of the lady first. Mm-hmm. Here's a picture of her. This is a 18-year-old mother who had a baby. Now, let me go down. I've got video here. Let me pull this up because you want to watch this. I want everybody to watch this because this is just beyond sad. Let me pull this up where you can see this. This is her pulling up to a dumpster. Now watch what happens here. She's going to the back seat of the car. This is a child in her hands right here. And she throws that baby in that dumpster and then drives off. Now, is that not...
That makes my blood just boil. I mean, it just makes me so mad.
Now, this is where I always go.
Awful.
A lot of times they blame police for not stopping this, not doing this. This falls on the judicial system. She is bonded out of jail. She was given a $10,000 bond, and she's already out of jail. So,
what is wrong with people?
Was justice served there?
No, it wasn't served at all. I mean, what is wrong with our judicial system to let somebody like that even be eligible to bond out?
No, she claims, and it doesn't matter what she claims of, well, I didn't know I was pregnant to the last minute. That doesn't matter. That was a life. That was a child.
Right. So was the child, they got the child?
Yes, it was in there 6 hours. Somebody comes by, hears the baby crying, climbs in there and gets the child out. The child is okay.
Okay, so if the child had not been, somebody had not found the child would have been killed.
All right, this is the second case of this week where we showed you, was it yesterday or Friday, about Alaska, to where they left the newborn baby in a cardboard box in 20-degree weather, and the child lived. Somebody found it also. But 2 cases of this. So many people want to adopt children that there is somebody that will take these children. Don't do this to them. They deserve the chance that you had in life. And if you messed up your chance, that's your bad. Let this child have a right to live. That just disturbs me.
Yeah, it really disturbs me too. It does.
I can't imagine somebody wanting to harm.
I mean, that's attempted murder as far as I'm concerned.
It is. I'm trying to type in a password here.
There's so much disregard for life in general in our society right now. People don't, care about anybody else's feelings. I mean, it's just all about what they want.
No, that's exactly right.
And not everybody's like that, but there are so many people out there that are like that. It's just... And for us to just feed into that and give them their way and just give them a slap on the hand and let them move on, you're basically saying to everybody, do what you want. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's a bad one. A bad one. That is, we hope some justice is served in the end. She is out right now. All right, I mentioned this morning at 6:30. Now, it's bad because we've had police in here left and right talking about this, that, and the other. And, we always hear if you leave something in your car, it's your fault because you know better this day and time to leave stuff. But we all still do it.
Yeah.
So we get to blame the popo this time. And let's go to Memphis, Tennessee. And she made a bad mistake. And I only know her because of a couple of press conferences I've run off. But the police chief of Memphis, Tennessee got out Saturday, went into a store with somebody, and guess what? They stole her gun. She left it in the car.
Goodness.
And she said, I made the mistake. She had it in a case, and they took the case and all. They did find her backpack a block down the road where they took out what they wanted and threw it, but they got the gun.
They must have just busted out the window.
Yeah, that's exactly what goes on. And let me say this. If you're watching from the Zero community, I have seen case after case over the last 2 weeks of people breaking into cars in the Zero community after dark. So if you live out in that neighborhood, don't leave anything on your seat that you don't want taken.
Right.
They
or
hadn't called
anywhere
them
else
yet.
in your car because they'll search through, and get what they want.
So have you ever had your car broken into?
No, not yet.
Let's cut back over to our special guest. Marla, have you ever had your car broken into?
I have actually.
What did they get?
A purse, a handgun, and a pair of shoes. But my child left it unlocked, so it was kind of our fault because we were staying at a hotel and he got out and left the car unlocked. So they just went in and got what they wanted.
And that's one of those claims to where it's not really worth filing on it. How much were you out? You think? How much money?
Maybe less than $1,000, maybe $700.
But still, that's $700 out of your paycheck that you've got to come up with.
Yeah.
It just infuriates me.
It infuriates me too that people just take what they want, that people work hard for.
Right.
People just think they can help themselves to it.
Now, one of the most common that we have in our area is you go in to eat. And I've seen this also over and over and over, and it's right there in the middle because you get out in a hurry to go eat. You're not thinking about it.
Yeah.
Dark time comes, and that's when they come. Not to say that it can't happen during daylight.
Yeah.
But they're more prone to do this at night where they can slip around and ease up to the window, knock it out, and take your stuff.
And I was guilty of keeping everything in my purse prior to that. Now I don't keep my Social Security cards and all that stuff in my purse. But the person took that and had all that stuff.
So you had to cancel everything.
It was more than the loss of the property. It was the loss of those personal information items.
And I know that has got to be so aggravating when you have to cancel credit cards and go to your bank and have to do all this kind of stuff. Plus reorder your Social Security.
And let me ask this because I cannot be the only one that would not know this. Say it's 9 o'clock at night. Somebody steals your purse, your wallet that you left in there. How do you go about it that late at night of canceling your bank card? What can you do that late? Is there online stuff or do you call somebody?
Yeah, most of them are online. You can go online and cancel or report it stolen.
8 other people go, whoa, I don't know how to do that. I wouldn't.
Let me tell you.
I'd have to get my wife.
What happened to my mother? She sent a bill in the mail. She got the empty envelope back with still the statement where she had sent it to pay a bill.
Right.
But the check was gone. And so...
did it get cashed?
It was gone or it was sent... But I don't remember what it was, but the whole thing was open. She said it looked like somebody had steamed it open.
Oh, wow.
And so she didn't...
We used to do Christmas gifts that way.
It's just used to open the gifts like that.
Yeah, me and my sister. Well, my sister did, and I watched. She'd heat it up, and then she'd put that tape back on there. You wouldn't even know it'd been into.
I loved when my mother went to the bags and not
a little bit
everything.
easier there.
Yeah, you just, when she's not looking, peek through the tissue. Yeah,
now, I'm sure both of y'all would be upset over this. I read this earlier this morning on my weather report. But say it's 20 degrees outside, and you're trying your best to keep warm. You got your heater all warmed up. You got supper going there, and this man decides to climb a power pole, go up 85 foot. They can't get him down because it's like electrocution thing. He could die. They could die trying to get him. They had to cut 20,000 people's power off to get him down. Now, how upset would you be?
Oh, my God.
And you think about the businesses that have to be shut down and what that costs them in revenue to get this man off this. And
I wonder, did he get charged?
It's a good
With
question.
something.
Well, the first question that comes to my mind is why? Why
Yeah.
would you do that?
Because he's crazy. There's so many crazy. It's just like the naked man walking around.
Yeah.
How crazy do you have to be? I mean, and I'm serious. I know that's probably saying because I do think there's not something quite right with somebody that walks around fully naked at all. But to walk around like that in 20-degree weather, something ain't right.
Oh my God.
But yeah, there's crazy people all over the place that'll do that.
Sometimes they take things they shouldn't and think they can fly and do things.
yeah.
You know, there's no other.
Yeah.
I don't guess there's a good. But that was 4 hours.
Inconvenience so many people. He should get charged something, a fine or something. I don't know.
I would think so. And then, and also another news this morning, there's a lot of Alabama fans that are not happy this morning. Georgia Bulldogs came back and won the national championship from Alabama yesterday.
Oh, wow.
But I heard this morning, though, I was listening to the news, and they said that Nick Saban had something to say after the game, and he did it with grace. I mean, he said that they won, fair and square. So.
Well, that's good. I'm glad he said that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people get upset and say things they shouldn't.
I'm sure there was a lot of comments going on at the game and at people's homes.
Oh,
Some
you know
people
it.
get all wound up about stuff like that.
Being out of shape. It's just a ball game. You got to remember that.
But this was the first time Georgia had won, right?
Oh, in 20 years.
So
wow.
kudos to them. I think that's great for them.
Georgia had a really good year. Alabama had some. They barely made it. They did make it to but they had some games there that they should have won.
Yeah.
And some losses that they almost lost where Alabama before walked on the field and had it in the bag. But it was a tough year for them. And glad to see Georgia. That's good for them. I'm glad for their fans, and hopefully Alabama fans will congratulate them as well.
Yes.
Hang close. We got more coming up with Scotty Ray and Candace right around the corner. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more.
The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville has these great savings this week. Florida strawberries, $3.99 a pound. Fresh Halos, 3-pound bag, $6.99. Chicken of the Sea tuna, a 5-ounce can, only 99 cents. A 15-ounce can of Hormel chili, $2.19. Post Fruity Pebbles, 11-ounce box, 2 for $5. And certified Angus beef top sirloin family pack, $4.99 a pound.
We're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
Rockhouse Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rockhouse will have the gun that you need. With a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rockhouse Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. And you brought up something I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
The guys at the Rock House Gun and Pawn are going to be opening up a new store. And tentatively in February, it's going to be called the Back Porch of Meridian.
My son-in-law works at the Rock House, and he says that it is going to be some kind of good.
Yeah, they got all
It's going to be really neat.
grills, woodworking stuff. It's going to be nice. Patio furniture, Louis Vuitton purses.
Yes, and I think he said frozen foods and vegetables.
Yeah, a lot of
The
beef.
freezer section. I want to say he said maybe grain-fed beef, stuff like that.
That's what my note says.
Yeah.
They it's going to be fun. So be
Grass-fed, excuse me.
grass-fed.
Grass-fed beef.
Coming your way. All right, let's look at a few things. Not a lot happened in history on this day. It was kind of a slow day, but I'm still going to bring up what I do know. 1946, she was what we would call a hot mama.
She's pretty. She's still pretty.
Naomi. Her and Winona didn't always get along, but she was a nurse, and then she got a little sick there, and she took some time off. But Naomi, 1946, her birthday today, so wish her a big one there. She's still out there somewhere. It was 1967, and everybody that had a Jackson in their town thought it was written about their town. She's going to get out her J-Pan fan. Do y'all remember this? Johnny Cash and June recorded it today.
I watched the movie and watched them singing it on stage together. Isn't that when he asked her to marry him or something?
Yeah,
the
I
movie?
don't know. Yeah, in the movie, I don't know if
I don't know if in real life it really happened or if it was just for.
He tried several times before she gave in. June, even Elvis wanted to date her.
In that movie, I felt so sorry for his wife. She kind of was just back home
Taking care of the 15 children.
Yeah. Yeah, dealing with
Vivian. Wasn't that her name? Vivian, if I'm not mistaken there. She kind of got left behind, so to speak.
She did, and that's bad.
That happens out there. 1983, what was the number one song that you woke up to? Well, I like her. I still like her. I even watch her TV show some. Do you remember the song, Can't Even Get the Blues?
I do remember it.
I like that song. So it was number one in 1983 as Reba delivered another big hit there. The early 80s is, to me, the best era of Reba ever. I just love that. Whoever's in New England, The Last One to Know, all of that stuff. It would be 1964 that this would be the first hint of this, that you shouldn't do it. It would take Americans a lot longer before they really started paying attention to it. But in 1964, the Surgeon General put out that first little sticker that says, this may lead to cancer. And then, as we all know, it would be the lawsuit from Mississippi that really changed everything.
People kept smoking, though.
And they still do.
Yeah.
But it is looked at a lot differently now than it was back then. It was the cool thing to do. Every movie star did it.
Yeah, they did.
The Marlboro Man.
I'm just thankful that the restaurants don't really allow it anymore, because nothing was worse to me. Now, for smokers, it was fine with them, but for non-smokers, it was awful to try to eat your meal. And they have smoking sections, but as we all know, that it drifts through. I don't see how you
do
really
they even have smoking sections now?
I don't think so.
I haven't noticed one.
Yeah. I remember Cracker Barrel. We used to go in there, and they would have a non-smoking and a smoking section, but you could always smell it, I mean, there's really not a way to really petition that off where you can't, but anyway.
But I'm good. I can hang around somebody that does, and it doesn't bother me anymore.
Yeah.
Takes a lot of willpower.
It does for some people, I'm sure.
The first time I heard this next song that is number one, I would be watching Animal House. And I would hear it for the first time and go, oh, I kind of like that song. It was 1964. The number one song in America was Louie Louie. Y'all know the song. So it was number one back in 64 on this date. I don't know the rest of the words to the song.
Well, that's basically what most of it was, wasn't it?
1969, this was the number one song, and I think everybody will know this too. He became a household name. B.J. Thomas had the number one song with Hooked on a Feeling. His biggest, of course, would have been Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. And he done a remake of Hank Sr.'s I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry that was huge. But Hooked on a Feeling, B.J. Thomas, Old Blue Eyes. Like I said, today there wasn't a lot that happened in history. It was kind of mild.
Yeah.
Everything was quiet. Didn't much happen there. So that's a trip down memory lane. We do hope everybody's having a good morning so far. As we slowly warm up, and let's go over here and take a look at radar real quick and see what our temperatures are as we start to thaw out, hopefully, here. Let's look at some current conditions. Let me pull this up so you can see what's going on here and throw it on radar. Here we are. This is where we are in Meridian right now. We're clocking in Keyfield, 31 degrees, not quite up to freezing yet. Also up at NAS Meridian, 31. Starkville seeing 34, 32 over in Jackson, Mississippi. Columbus Air Force Base, 29 there. Yes. That's an overall look as we glance across the state of Mississippi. Alabama, Tuscaloosa already at 35. So we're hitting a warming trend today of about 53. Now, if you're outside and working it all day long, that's going to be cold. So carry your jacket. Make sure that you're warm with whatever you're doing. We've got several nights that this will gradually warm up as we get toward Friday to about 64, and then that rain moves in on Saturday night. And that's where I brought up that chance of people saying we could see snow in the northern part of Alabama and Mississippi. We'll watch all that. Most likely not going to happen. We're days out. But we'll watch that. It's always just the fun of being able to the first person to say, snow flur.
Yeah.
We all enjoy it. Admit it. We do. Milk and cookie. Have you ever did you make the snow ice cream?
No, I've never wanted to put snow in, like eat snow. I don't know.
We've done it. As a kid, that was a big thing of snow ice cream. It was the thought of it.
But I don't know, just anything like rain or snow or anything that comes from the atmosphere down, because there's all kind of stuff up in there. I'm sure.
She's really thinking too much into this, isn't she?
I don't do that.
There's a lot of people who do it, though.
Oh, I know there are.
You've never
there are
picked
a lot of
up
people.
snow off the ground and tasted it? I'm worried about you.
I hadn't. I'm not. I don't want to do that. I don't know.
It didn't. See, I'm still alive.
I would be afraid. I mean, there's all kind of probably chemicals up in the air,
like
floating
birds
around, germs, and then you just gonna eat a big old wad of it. I don't know. I just don't want to.
You ever thought about where water comes from out of the ground?
Yeah, but we have all kind of chemicals in there to kill whatever bacteria.
I'm trying to put thoughts in her head.
Yeah. I'll stick with some bottled water. It's purified.
I hear you.
Hopefully.
Let's take
really
a minute.
know, do we?
No, we don't know about anything, but I eat snow. Just don't eat the yellow snow.
Yeah, don't eat yellow snow.
Never. As we turn to the precast group, they're there to help you. And what they do is help you when storms come, a safe place to go to. Not only is it peace of mind, it will keep you and your family safe. If you haven't visited them before, call them at 482-0003. You can take a trip out, talk to them about this. They can deliver these, get you fixed up, delivery and installation all at one time there, and protect your family. This is one that's being installed on the slab as you build your home. And especially if you're building your home, go ahead and do that now. You can do these either above ground or below ground as we take these models here. Solid steel doors, nothing's going to come through that. They're tested. They have to be approved by the tornado, and they are. They sling stuff at this to make sure nothing can go through, and it is. It'll be there for you. Different views of how you can set them in your ground, above or all the way below. See them today at the Precast Group. Find out how affordable this is for the peace of mind of knowing you have a place to go to. 145 South is where you'll find them there. 482-0003. Be safe and protected with the Precast Group.
First 10 days following an accident are crucial. Insurance companies don't wait. They have a staff of adjusters, attorneys, and investigators collecting information that can be used against you.
Call Richard Schwartz today.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our community efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. I got a funny text of somebody that has had the Omicron. They said, hey, if you didn't know, I think I'm planning my own funeral on Thursday because it's so bad.
The Omicron?
Yeah.
See, I kept hearing it was just like a common cold, but
there's it affects people differently.
Yeah.
And bless their heart, I don't want it. Not at all. So I do hope you get to feeling better there, my friend.
I don't want any of it if I can help it, or any kind of sickness if I can help it. And I feel for people that are sick right now.
It is so much of it.
I know.
I feel for people that are suffering with this, and I don't know that there's any just instant cure. You can go if you can get it, the what do you call the drip thing?
Oh, the monoclonal antibodies. Are you talking about like the infusion?
The infusion. I couldn't think of it for whatever reason. I hope you're able to get those.
Yes, we do.
I wanted to say congratulations to somebody because this doesn't happen every. My neighbor down the road, Kelly Williams, works up at Rush Hospital, got the kill of a lifetime. So I have to give him congratulations. Let me show his picture here as we pull this up. Look at that deer.
That's a good one.
Yeah, he done real well. So I'm proud for Kelly. Congratulations. Doesn't happen often there. And I understand that he'd have killed it a couple of days before if his wife would have held the light steady and he just couldn't get a shot.
Oh, the light.
But congratulations, Kelly. That is a great deer.
It is.
I hope one day I can drag one home like that.
I hope I'll get to go hunting this year. It ain't looking promising.
You should talk to your husband.
I know.
Here we go. As we look at New York and Boston, expecting the coldest temperatures they've had in about 3 years. They're looking for at least 2 feet of snow to be slamming into those areas today. We think about them. An Alabama man, I guess there's all types of people in the world. The FBI has made an arrest in Alabama. This guy went on an app or a site, let me put it this way, and was trying to find somebody to kidnap his ex-girlfriend to get, and do horrible things to her. They have arrested. He'd put up $75 and paid it, and the person that got the message called police immediately. he has been arrested. It's a 22-year-old man, Mathis Jacob Edward Mann is his name. Hired a man from Wisconsin to come do that. Here's his picture here of
the one that hired the guy.
Yeah. That I just people.
My arm slipped off the thing.
Did it?
Yeah.
I thought you got the wheelies over or something.
My elbow slipped off the armrest.
You ever fell out of a chair not expecting it?
Oh yeah.
Like lean back just a little bit too much and the chair gives way and.
Yeah, I have. I've had many little mishaps where I tripped over something. All embarrassing moments, by the way. Yeah.
But did you spill your drink? That's the big thing.
Well, 2 times I had a child on my hip carrying them and fell, and my child was fine because I made sure that he was protected.
Anybody else humming Redneck Woman?
I mean, and then one time I was going into a convenience store, and you know how the curb is not, if it's not painted a different color,
right.
It just kind of blends in. Well, Candace didn't even know there was a curb there, so
Flop.
I hit the ground. My wallet went everywhere. It's so bad that the clerk from behind the register come running around. Are you okay? I was so embarrassed. I was out in the parking lot area.
Did you jump up immediately or just kind of lay there gracefully?
I got up as quick as I could. But it was so embarrassing. So
it happens to all of us.
I've had many of those moments. So
those little, and
best thing to do is just smile and laugh about it and move on. And then when you get to the car, like, doctor your wounds.
I've been walking and you step in a hole and you go flop.
Yeah.
It does happen to all of us. Kudos to a Doordash guy. And you go, Doordash. Doordash is a delivery service to where you order food and they bring it to your home and you give them a tip. This was Detroit. A guy was delivering food. It was 38 degrees, and he finds a toddler in the middle of the street wearing nothing but a diaper. And he grabs the child. Here's a picture of it, and it's blurred out because it is a child. But he sets him in his truck. And he calls the police, and they come to it. I'm sure that somebody's got some explaining to do, a 2-year-old all by itself out in the middle of nowhere.
I mean, kids can get out of the house in a quick hurry. I mean, they can. Seriously. I had one get out of my house one time and was running after the dog. I mean, she shut a door, and after that, we put these chain locks at the top of every door in the house because it was just scary.
I heard that happened on prom also.
Oh, really?
Just rumors. No comment, huh?
Yeah, no comment, I guess.
They're telling us, as we brought up COVID just a minute ago, it's up 27% nationwide. In that same breath, let me tell you, as we go to the next story on this, to where Americans now are not scared of it. They've kind of gotten used to the fact that it's going to be there, and they're not terrified. Now, there's still a group that it bothers, but they're not terrified of it like we once were. They've learned that washing your hands and a little distance from somebody does help. But that's the stories dealing with that this morning. Now, I meant to bring this up yesterday morning, but AOC has it. Did you know that?
I heard that a couple of days ago. I heard that, yeah.
She was partying and no mask or whatever. She did exactly what she told everybody else in America not to do.
Yeah, that's I've heard that several times, that she's been seen at parties, tons of people at the party, and she didn't have a mask on. But yeah, she harps on it all the time to everyone else. So
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not. She's not my favorite person, but I don't wish
absolutely
harm on her or anything. But I just, it's kind of ironic.
The headline, I'm just going to assume this is what this is that she was partying at a Miami drag brunch.
That's what I heard.
I can only imagine that means what I think it means.
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah. We also find out this morning that 7 other lawmakers join her in Congress as having this also right now. So it is spreading. It is out there. But just treat it for what it is.
Yeah, hopefully they'll get over it quick.
The CDC had to make a correction to one of the U.S. justices that said that 100,000 children had the virus. And the CDC goes, whoa.
Yeah.
It's only 3,500 children nationwide.
Yeah, I heard her say that, and I was like, really?
Yeah.
I mean,
she just didn't know what she was talking about. But thank heavens that somebody did correct that to work, because that does sound awful that 100,000 have it. But not the case.
Yeah, and then said many were on ventilators, with it.
She stretched the truth majorly. But, and of course, the CDC is not always the most populist group in America. People look down on them sometimes and accuse them, but they did speak up and say, you're not right. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm glad that was cleared up. Let's see here, some other things that are going on. We found out that Betty White had a stroke 6 days before she passed away, and most likely led to her death 6 days later. Now, we are also hearing Bob Saget died of natural causes, but we're also hearing police say from the Orlando area they suspect that it was either a stroke or a heart attack. He did die of natural causes of that way of some sort.
Yeah, I had heard this morning on the news that the family members could not get in touch with him, is what they said. And so they had the hotel go and check.
Okay.
And that's who found him, as one of the workers of the hotel. And they went in and they found him. And they said that he was laying in his bed with his left arm across his chest, like he was sleeping, I guess. And all the lights were out in the hotel room. And so that does lead you to believe that it was just natural causes.
Just a quick...
That
heart business, y'all have it checked. If you don't have regular appointments, if you feel anything that is kind of weird, go have it checked out. A good friend of mine had heart surgery last week, and I hope she's doing well. Yes. It can happen to any of us.
It can, really. I mean, I've seen young and old, have heart issues. And
yeah, people in their 30s. I mean, this is not something that you got to be old to get by any means there. This is sad news. Did you did see where the Florida deputies both committed suicide? The husband did it first, and the husband.
I did.
They were laid to rest yesterday in a dual ceremony. So sad.
They left behind a child too.
6 weeks old. We assume that a family member will adopt, and that is an assumption. I don't have that in front of me this morning, but that's 21 guns. That's just a horrible way to go. Hopefully, it's a shame they didn't get help.
Yeah,
we know
sad. And they had just had their first child, and the child I think was 6 weeks old.
Yeah, assumption that it had something to do with the line of duty. What he did, she did it because she missed him so bad. They said that she just went into a hysteric that he committed suicide, and she couldn't make it without him, and that's why she took her life.
That's so sad.
Strong stuff. You hate to even have to talk about things of that nature, but it does happen in America, and hopefully this will help someone else. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean,
that they see this and go, I don't want to end up that way.
If you know somebody that is suffering from major depression too, get somebody to help them, talk to them. Or if you think they have suicidal thoughts and suicidal tendencies, get them some help.
Absolutely. There's even people in our area that can help you with all of that. As we turn to our friends at Godwin Cleaning Services, they remind you, get on a schedule, get your stuff cleaned up. They'll do that for you. Whether it's every quarter, however you want to do your business, or your home to where it stays spick and span all the time. They do this at Godwin Cleaning Services. From the simple taking care of your awnings, making it look better, to taking care of your brick and removing rust. Rust really changed the looks of your business or home. Window cleaning, they do that also there. 253-8262 is the number to call them there, and they can get you fixed up from metal buildings to rust removal, anything like this. They'll make it look new again with a soft washing, low pressure, including your roofs. They bring them back to what they looked like before you ever touched them. Look at that. Asphalt, slate roofs, shingle roofs, they have that for you. And again, you can get on a schedule to have this done every quarter, or if you've got something that gets dirtier quicker, they can do that also. From brick all the way up to rock. They do all of this with the latest equipment. And again, as I mentioned, fleet washing. See them at Godwin Cleaning Services. Line it up today, 253-8262. Make your home or business look great again.
I'm Richard Schwartz. If you've been in an auto accident, don't hesitate to call for legal help. Remember, the first 10 days following an accident are crucial. I am Richard Schwartz, and I'm here to help you.
Call Richard Schwartz today.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace as this morning moves right along as we head toward the top of the hour. You hate to see this ever happen to anybody, but we see that a Philadelphia, Pennsylvania man has been freed from prison after 37 years after, some people lied to put him in jail. It's all been cleared up. He's out. That's his entire life. Gosh. 37 years behind bars for something he didn't do. witnesses more or less received bribes to lie.
I wonder what happens, like, can they go back and prosecute somebody else that wrongfully put them in jail?
I would think so.
I wonder how that works. I mean, do they just let them out and go, just be glad you're out? Don't do anything about it.
But I would think that the people that lied on you would have to,
yeah.
if it was intentional.
Because that ruins your life.
Yeah.
I mean,
So we're glad for him that he's out of prison, and we wish him luck. But boy, that took a chunk, 37 years out of his life. He's 61 now. We saw this in reports earlier this year. And I hadn't seen much of it lately, but there was a time there for about a 3 to 4 week period where Asians were getting attacked in New York City left and right just because they were Asian.
I mean, I've seen one of a woman just walking down the sidewalk, and this guy just walking by her just starts beating her. I mean, beating her and kicking her, and it's awful.
And this is the case. We talked about this gentleman. He was attacked 8 months ago in New York City and kicked in the head repeatedly. He was put into a coma and was in a hospital, and he has passed away after 8 months.
That's awful.
No one should be treated that way.
No.
We do hope that those people will be caught and have to spend some time in jail.
This day and time that we live in, I know I say it all the time, but there are so many people out and about that are trying to promote hate amongst all of us. And, don't give in to that. I mean, even if it's politics, don't give in to that.
Right.
Because there's so much more good in this world than there is bad. And I just think people are just trying to push that. And I think that it contributes to a lot of this crime.
It does. A little prayer
really
goes a long way.
Yes.
Believe in the man upstairs.
Right.
There's been an arrest. There's been a guy that's been threatening. He called the Secret Service and said, hey, I'm going to take Trump out. They went and paid him a visit, and he's been cuffed and stuffed. He was 72 years old.
Goodness.
That's a little older to be doing stuff like that. He couldn't accept the election results and said he was going to take him out. He'll have a lot of time to think about that.
Yes.
Which also goes on the other effect there of, well, Madonna, anything wasn't done to that on that speech that she gave there in front of thousands. Nothing ever happened with that. Whew, let's see here. They're so desperate to get, have you seen Joe? He just will not stop and talk to reporters anymore.
Oh, yeah.
So they
Even
held.
if he's having a press conference, I mean, he won't speak. He don't answer questions. He
doesn't.
Yeah.
So they threw up a sign trying to get him to talk. Here it is on Twitter. Yeah, he didn't pay any attention. He kept right on going. Someone directed him right inside the White House.
I hope they stop him because he'll be over there in the woods somewhere. Maybe.
Lost.
Just keep walking.
Did you know that Johnny Carson had a brother?
No. Mm-mm.
I did not. His brother, Dick Carson, has passed away at the age of 92. He was a director here, and he does sort of look like him.
He does.
After you pull it up there, there he is. But he was a director in television. He wasn't in the limelight like Johnny was, but he's passed away at the age of 92. And I had no idea. I guess there's other big celebrities that have siblings that I don't know about. Anyway, that's some big news there. Let's see here what else is in the news. Jim Jordan says he ain't doing it. Now, I like Jim Jordan.
I do too. I think he stands his ground and he doesn't really bend and give in.
He tells it kind of just how it is. He may be blunt and he always has an answer, but they're trying to get him to come into that January 6th committee. And he says, I'm not doing it. It's against the law. He said, you're not legitimate, and we'll see how this turns out for him.
Yeah, like I said a while ago about, I really believe, I mean, I'm starting to hear more and more about stuff with the elections coming up in the near future. I really think they're going to try and pull race into this, like, even more. And I think that they're going to try to turn people against each other even more.
Yeah, let's
so
don't
like
fall
I said
for
a while
that.
ago, don't give in to that. I mean, vote for the person that's the right person for the job. And everybody love each other. I mean, I'm just so tired of all the chaos and hate going on in the world, you know?
Quickly, this is pretty neat. If you metal detect and you go out and you hunt for coins and things, this has been found. It's a trove, as they would say. This is Roman coins found. That 200 of them. That's very serious there. So congrats to whoever dug that up. That's a pretty neat little find there.
That's neat.
I found a dime once.
Did you?
Yeah. We want to say thank y'all for coming by and spending time with us this morning. Means a lot. We're coming back tomorrow morning. Don't find your remote if you didn't want to watch us today.
8 a.m.
We'll see you then.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by